conversation first. Okay, lovely. So where's pin? Okay, so welcome to ECO 501 Section 2 for 2021 MBA program BRAC University. So it looks like this course, Managerial Economics, this semester is going to be more or less 100% online, unless and of course the university changes decisions. So first of all, how do I start? Let me look at the slides. Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
The
sir.
slides are section 2, the Tuesday class. So let me first introduce myself. My name is Asrarul Islam Chaudhry, or Asrar Chaudhry for short. I'm a professor of economics at Jahangir University, and I've been teaching at BRAC University in this program and also this course from 2015. But in the middle, there was 3-4 years gap when I wasn't associated with BRAC University. My research interests include public economics, education economics, and game theory. This is my BRAC University email. So if you need to get in touch with me, you can just send an email. I usually respond quickly. Otherwise, there's the mobile number. Okay. Now, this is the first thing that we need to know is that this semester, the classes will be online, just like the last 2 semesters. So unless and of course the university or the program changes notices and etc. So the format that we do is usually what I do before the Saturday class. Or you do know that I'm taking 2 sections.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm taking section 1 and also section 2. Section 1 is on Saturday, and section 2, your section is on Tuesday. So what I do normally when I take 2 sections, I upload videos on before this Saturday class, maybe on Saturday or Friday evening. So that will also be applicable for your section as well. Then,
No, sir, we can hear you.
No, sir, we can hear.
No, sir.
We can hear you, sir.
sometimes it gets hanged. So the thing is, this is the form. The way it works is that I upload videos. If you go to my YouTube channel, which I'm going to show in a little while, you can also get access to all the previous videos that I've done over the last 2-3 semesters. And then during the class, like today, we discuss. This is the official format. The actual format is 90% of the people never watch those videos. This is from historical experience. Maybe your batch or this semester will be different, but 90% of the times people never watch the videos. So what happens is ultimately this discussion class ends up becoming a class altogether. So in that case, what I'll do, I'll try to upload the videos on Saturdays, and then we discuss the topics on your requisite day. Otherwise, we will be looking at the what do you call it, the slides. So how do we do it? So this is my YouTube channel. Have you downloaded the course outline that I sent?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
In the course outline, I think this link is given. So if you subscribe and press the bell button, then you'll get all the updates. And you can also get access to all the previous videos that I've uploaded over the last few semesters. So our online classes are basically, we discuss the video lecture that I'm supposed to upload before the class. Sometimes I fail. And then we discuss relevant examples to the topic with real life situations. We discuss practice questions. And then at the end of each discussion class, we'll be briefing on what topic we will be covering the following week. The references I shall provide, how I'll provide, I'll let you know in a little while. Now, there's 2 ways of getting in touch with that for me to get in touch with you and you also to get in touch with me. There's a Facebook group. This is the group, and have you seen this link in the course outline?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if any of you have already sent me an add request, I'll add you after today's class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
I think some of you have already sent me.
Sir.
Yeah, okay, lovely. No problem. So I'll add you after the class. And there's another way of getting in touch with you guys, and that's the Google Classroom. But there's a technical problem which I found out after uploading in section 1. If we look at your email address that I have from here, can you see the email addresses?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now
Yes, sir.
the first, wait, let me go up. Okay, so the first person, Anha Sultana, she doesn't have a G Suite, BRAC University ID.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but, and then the first BRAC University ID that we observe here is who? Hey, this person, Ravid Kader Rivu. So the Google Classrooms that I constructed were constructed on the basis of my BRAC University email ID. So if you want to get in touch with get into that Google Classroom, you have to have a G Suite ID. Otherwise, you can't enter with a Gmail. ठीक है? So what I'm going.
We all have Google BRAC University Google ID.
Who said that? এই কথাটা কে বলছে? Sorry, can
Goswami, sir.
Acha, Rishikesh Goswami, can you kindly say repeat again what you said?
Sir, we all have G Suite email ID.
Oh, acha. But the email addresses that I have, those are
that was our registration email for when we applied for the admission for BRAC University.
Oh, I see. So all of you have a G Suite.
We
Yes,
use
sir, yes, sir.
ID.
We
We use USIS ID with our personal Gmail, and we also have G Suite email for our
official purposes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sir,
lovely.
practically for bugs, we use the G Suite email IDs. That was only for using the bugs. And for
Okay.
UCIS accounts, we have our own registered Gmail IDs, which we used for admission test, basically.
I see. So but with those with that particular ID that you used in the admission test, you cannot enter the Google Classroom from BRAC University, can you?
No, sir. We have in another course we have used the G Suite to get the course from in the classroom, basically Google Classroom.
Okay, what I'll do after today's class, I'll sum up with both the sections whether they can enter the Google Classroom. Otherwise, what I'll do, I'll use I have a Gmail account. I'll open Google Classroom from my Gmail account. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
So let's see how things go. Depending on the situation, we'll do that. Okay. So according to this thing, I already constructed 2 Google Classrooms. But if we have problems accessing them, then we'll have a second line of attack. Now, this is something very important that. Oh yes, please. Hello. Carry on. What do you want to say? Somebody wanted to say something. Some lady. Did she get disconnected?
Net problem, maybe, sir.
Net problem. Net problem. Okay, no problem. She'll be back. Okay, so the thing is, when I used to have only one section, if there was a government holiday, that class was more or less obsolete. But it vanished. But since I'm having 2 sections, the section 1 on Saturday and also section 2, your section on Tuesday. So if, for example, the Saturday class is not held due to a government holiday or for any BRAC University purpose, then what happens? What do I do with the Tuesday class? I can't do the Tuesday class, can I? If I carry do something new on the Tuesday class, that will be unfair to the Saturday class. So what I've decided, and in fact, this is going to happen from next Saturday. Next Saturday is the Durga Puja chutti, and the Saturday class will not be held because it's a government holiday. So what I'm going to do, let me tell you. So if I miss a class due to a holiday, if a class is missed due to a government holiday or any other reason due to Brack University may have their personal holidays. Then what will happen? I will take a combined class on the other day of the week. Now, if I am aware beforehand that a Tuesday class is a government holiday, we look at the academic calendar, then that particular Tuesday class, I will take combined class on Saturday. Okay, why do I want to do this? I want to
Sir,
do this.
sir, I have class on
Okay, sir.
Saturday.
Yes, I'm addressing that problem. I've gone through these problems before. So the thing is, suppose Tuesday is a holiday for whatever reason, and then so that means this class will not be held. So what I'll do, I'll take a class on double class on Saturday. If the Saturday class is missed due to holiday, which will be next week because of Durga Puja Chutti, then I'll take that combined class on Tuesday. Now, the gentleman who said that he has another class on Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Acha. What I'm going to do, every class is going to be, every class will be, what do you call it? We're going to record
Recorded
each class. And these recorded classes will always be shared. Number one. Number two, since I am aware that I'm taking a double class on a Saturday or a Tuesday due to a holiday or missed class or whatever, I will definitely not cover too much new ground. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Now,
sir.
if I don't do that, what happens? That week will be vanished. So if for example, there's a holiday on Saturday, I can't take the Tuesday class or vice versa. Okay.
Right, sir.
Sir, will you give us the attendance on that day if we?
Acha, attendance, I'm coming. You guys are very interested in attendance, huh? Okay.
That's 5% marks, sir.
Now, I'll tell you how I solved the attendance problem in the online world as when we come to it. So, if the Saturday class is missed, which will be next week because of Durga Puja Chutti, then a combined class on Tuesday or vice versa. But this will be done because since we are online class, so we don't have to lose anything. And an effort will be made so that this does not happen. But if there's a government holiday, there's nothing we can do. Acha. How do we make the assessments? Oh, acha. How do we make the assessments? The assessments, the 100 marks, the two people who are asking about attendance. Now in the online world, it is not practical for me to monitor who is attending class and who's not. For example, the first person on my screen is Mr. Jubair Al Mahmood. Then we have
Yes, sir.
Shantanu Boral. Then we have Mahamah Muhammad. We have Samia Shamroz, Qazi Sobhan, and Mohammed Ahmadul Karim. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now then what I'll have to do what my daughter's teachers tell her to do. I'll have to ask you to open your, what do you call it, camera. That's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
Kind of.
Kind of
Little bit.
embarrassing because we are
Little
all
bit.
adults here. So, and it's humanly impossible for me to monitor who's attending classes and who's not. It's not a practical thing to do. So what I'm going to do, there will be 60 marks of take-home exams. Okay, take-home exams,
Okay,
each
sir.
assignment will be 20 marks. Okay, so how will I do the assignments? Like I've done the last 2-3 semesters, this is how I've solved the online problem. At the end of a Tuesday class, not every Tuesday, I shall give an assignment. An assignment will be, I will ask you to write maximum 1 page in type. Maximum, not more than that. So 1 page in type means basically 4 paragraphs maximum. If you squeeze the fonts and etc., you can't write more than 5 paragraphs. You will get at least 2-3 days time in order to do that. So what will happen is there will be 3 assignments which will be based on your take-home exams. Okay, then I'm going to take an oral assessment. How will I take the oral assessment? For example, when I give assignment number 1, I'll look at your IDs and I'll say the first 15 people or the first 12 people, depending on the size of the class, they will take an oral assessment after the class. So for example, assignment was due today, then after the class, those 12 or 15 people will stay. I'll just discuss with them. Okay, this will be considered as an assignment. Got the logic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
For example, now,
Yes, sir.
the next question that because all of you are extremely intelligent, what type of questions will you ask in the oral assessment? Somebody must have been asked, must want to ask this question, right? What I'm going to discuss in the oral assessment, it may be related to the assignment, it may be related to anything else in the course. For example, I might even ask you discuss a topic where you're having problem. So you say that the topic is topic X or topic Y. Then I might ask you a question, why are you having a problem, etc. So basically, I'm going to have an oral assessment with you so that I can assess you orally. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because it's not practical, and also, it's also very unethical and also indecent for me to make you attend classes, put your videos on, etc. Because you guys are all adults, and many of you must be also working, right?
Right, sir.
Lot of you might be. Some of you might even be in your office right now. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So if I have to ask you to open your video, you might be with your boss, or you might be in the coffee room. Okay, so that's why what I'm going to do with each assignment, these 10 people, they stay after class and we just have a little talk together. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Achha, now, what I'm going to do, there will be at least 3 assignments and 1 oral assessment. So how many exams have we taken? 4. I'm going to calculate
Right,
the
sir.
best 3 out of 4 or the best 3 out of 5. If I can take 4 assessments, I'll calculate best 3 out of 4. If I can take 5 assessments, I will still calculate best 3 out of 5. Why will I do that? I will do that for a few reasons. Number one, since this is a new course, maybe this is the first time you and I are interacting, the first assignment may not be up to the mark. I'm sure you have experienced something like this before, right?
Yes, sir. Sometimes
Right,
it
sir.
happens.
Right, sir.
This is quite natural because what happens in a new course, you don't know how the teacher is going to react, how the teacher, what type of, how to get a good marks, because each individual is different. So one assignment, the first one usually may be a disaster for whatever reason. Another reason that happens is you may not submit on time for a valid or an invalid reason, so that you don't have to tell me that, oh, can I have a extension of date, deadline, etc., etc. So I'll calculate best 3 out of 4 or best 3 out of 5, so that we don't have to worry about this problem. Okay, is that a
Okay,
fair
sir.
deal?
Yes, sir.
And another advantage with this is, if you are happy with the first 3 assignments, you do not have to submit assignment number 4 and 5. So if we are taking, say, 20 marks for each assignment, and let's say that your assignment average in the first 3 is 17, which is 85%. Now you calculate, oh, if I want to increase it above 17, I'll have to work very hard. I don't need it. So you don't have to submit attend number 4 and 5, because I'm going to calculate best 3 out of 4 or best 3 out of 5. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So if your first 3 assignments are according to your expectation, you don't have to worry about the last 2 assignments or last 1 assignment. Okay.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So this is an added advantage. Now somebody, you do not need to write your email. You can join. Oh, acha, you guys are chatting. Acha.
No, sir. Sir, we are actually
Everyone
put our
writing
G
their
Suite ID, sir.
mail.
G Suite ID, sir, so that you can
আচ্ছা,
find us.
okay. আচ্ছা, তাহলে এখন আমরা ইয়েতে যাই। Oh, what's
Sir,
our
you can find our G Suite ID in the
Oh,
chat
acha,
section.
acha. Okay. So these are take-home assignments, as I said, or there will be an oral assessment. I'll tell you who will be the persons to be orally assessed, and then I'll do a plagiarism check. Are you familiar with Turnitin?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I'll do the check through Turnitin, and the reason is because we are adults here. We are entering with a gentleman's handshake. The quality of your output is not important. what is important is the ethical considerations. Sometimes some people just copy paste up to 50%, 60%. I just penalize them very harshly, because if I don't do that, that will be unfair on the rest of the class. So how the plagiarism tests will be done, or how they actually are done, I'll discuss later. So this one we have already assessed. I will assess 3 assignments, 60 marks, based on best 3 out of 4 or best 3 out of 5. And since the final assessment will be average of best 3 of 4 or best 3 of 5, there is no scope for deadline extension or late submission. আচ্ছা, এইখানে ব্যাপারটা একটু ডিফারেন্ট। সেটা হচ্ছে, normally there's always a midterm in your semester.
Yes, sir.
But in the spring semester this year, spring semester, the midterm could not be taken. The summer, this midterm was given at our discretion. So some course teachers may have taken. এখানে কেউ আছে যে who did a course last semester?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you sit for a midterm?
Yes, sir. We did sit for midterm.
Okay, so the midterm in the last semester was at our discretion. So if the course teacher wanted to take a midterm, the course teacher could. If the course teacher thought that it wasn't practical for him or her, it was at their discretion. So I'm not going to take a midterm in the online, because it's a big hassle. I have to give a time framed exam, which is quite difficult to administer online. So I won't take. However, if BRAC University asks us to take a midterm exam, I will take the midterm exam according to their rules. In that case, the assignments may change. If you see 20 marks, it may become 15. Okay?
Okay, sir.
The percentages won't change. For example, if your A is 90%, in 20 you get 18. In 15, your 90% will be 13.5. So whatever you got in 20, it will be converted to 15. So where are we? So I'm not in favor of midterm, but if the university formally sets a midterm for us, then the above will change. So we've addressed 60 marks take-home exams, 3, best 3 or 4 or best 3 or 5, and the final exam by definition is always 40 marks. Whether that is an offline exam, whether university takes it, whether I take it. So the final exam will be another take-home exam based on 40 marks. So this is your total 100 marks. Now attendance, as I said, there will be no formal marks, since it is not practically possible to monitor online attendance, and it's also not ethically nice, because then I'll have to spend all my effort finding out ke ki korche. However, I do try to observe who attends and participates in the class throughout the semester. So if I observe that Mr. X or Miss Y has been quite good in this section, I mean, so that person who may get a bonus treatment in the final exam. One thing I haven't written in today's slides is sometimes office থেকে আমাদেরকে phone করে. For example, who am I seeing in front of me first? Mr. Shantanu Boral. So they might ask that does Shantanu Boral attend your classes? মাঝে মাঝে কিন্তু ফোন করে, বুঝছো, মানে randomly হলেও আসলেও করে, মানে কি কারণে করে I don't know, but sometimes they do call me and জিজ্ঞেস করলো যে শান্তনু বড়াল, number 2 is Mr. Arafat Hossain. ঠিক আছে, তখন I have to answer. Yes, that person is visible in the class. He or she participates, talks, submits on time. Last semester 2-3 জনের ব্যাপার আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করা হয়েছিল, so I had to give them an honest answer. So the thing is, we expect that you attend the online class, because this online is not going to carry on forever. এটা তো ঠিক?
Yes.
Probably
Yes, right, sir.
probably next semester, from next semester you will go, there will be physical face-to-face classes. If not next semester, definitely summer 2022. And then what will happen, whatever we have covered in this course, the person who's going to teach in spring 2022 or summer 2022 will assume that you have learned these things. Then you will be in deep trouble. Right?
Right, sir.
Yes, sir.
Because the whoever takes those advanced courses will start on the presumption that you have done this course, so you know at least the basic stuff of that particular course. So that's why it's advisable that if you can't physically attend the class, at least go through the video or recordings that we do. Okay. And since we are all adults, I'm not in favor of taking attendance. Acha, what is this? This is the Google Drive. I'll share everything in the Google Drive. This is also given in the course outline, so you can access the Google Drive. Acha, supplementary material, whatever I share, I will share. I will tell you through what do you call it? Through the Facebook group, etc. Now, this is something I have to read out, because it's just an official requirement. Number one, I will not cheat, use unfair means, join intentionally or unintentionally any online or offline group in which exam answers are posted or discussed, or engage in any behavior that would commonly be deemed to be academically unethical. Number two, I will definitely notify the course teacher of any such activity, online or offline groups that I have become aware of. Number three, I acknowledge that I may be suspended or expelled from BRACU if I am found to have engaged in any academically unethical behavior. BRACU is strict on cheating, plagiarism, and copying. From my personal experience, during the pandemic, BRAC University has gone out of their way in order to stand by the students. Okay, but regarding this unethical practice, BRAC University is equally strict as well. So just let's try to be ethically clear, okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's more important, because ultimately,
Okay, sir.
if you do like this, today or tomorrow you will get caught and it will be very embarrassing. Acha, what's this? Acha, do we have any foreign students in this class? Any students from outside Bangladesh? কেউ আছে আমাদের ক্লাসে যে outside Bangladesh? No. Okay. Maybe এখন নাই, দুই একজন যদি add হয়. If we have foreign students in the class, then I have to speak in English. Otherwise, if I need to, if you want me to speak in Bangla, I can. But if we have foreign students in the class, then I will take permission from them and then I will talk in Bangla. Otherwise, এখন মনে হচ্ছে কেউ নাই। তাই না? Is there any foreign students in the class for whom Bangla is not their mother tongue? Okay, in that case, আমরা মাঝে মাঝে বাংলা তাহলে কথা বলতে পারবো এই ক্লাসে। ঠিক আছে?
Okay, sir.
Oh, yes, somebody said something? Oh, no. Okay. Acha, let me give you a little preview of the course. The name of the course is Managerial Economics. The name came because in the 1940s in America, in the business schools, they started this course with this name, and then throughout the whole world, it stuck. So the first business school in Bangladesh is IBA Dhaka University. Second business school is IBA Jahannagar University. So what they did in their MBA programs, they didn't change this name. ওই nameটা এইভাবেই থেকে গেছে. But actually, managerial economics is basically applied microeconomics. Now, in this class, how many of you are not from a BBA background?
Sir, I am.
Acha. Okay.
I am, sir. I am also.
Okay, lovely. Now, the persons who are not from a BBA background, what is your background?
Sir, I am from CSC background.
I am from
Sir,
CSC department.
আচ্ছা, CSE পাওয়া গেল একজন, আর বাকিরা কি?
I'm also CSC.
CSC,
Sir,
sir.
CSC, sir.
CSE, okay.
I'm from pharmacy.
You're from pharmacy, okay. Pharmacy জনকে আমরা পরে বলি. Those who came are from CSE undergrad. Did you do a basic microeconomics course in your undergrad?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The
No, sir.
lady from pharmacy, Did you do a basic microeconomics course in your undergrad?
No.
You didn't do that. But the CSE people, you did a basic microeconomics course, right?
Sir, I'm from CSE, but I haven't done any microeconomics.
You haven't done it, but that means most of the people in this class have seen a basic microeconomics course. If they're from BBA background, they will definitely have seen it. If they're from economics background, obviously they have, and CSE, some of you have. So there's nothing to worry about. The things that we are going to do will be absolutely common sense type. For example, if the price increases, how do I respond? Okay, if I don't have options in front of me, how do I respond? For example, I have to go to Chittagong right now. It's 7:06. The class will finish at say 8. I have to catch a plane at a bus at 9 o'clock. And then I have a very important meeting tomorrow morning. Now, if the price of the bus ticket is 2 times the price, will I grumble?
Sir, if the price is 2 times of the usually ticket, you can take plane ticket, air ticket easily on that price.
I won't grumble, because if I'm buying at the last moment, that means I am less flexible, aren't I? If I'm buying a ticket 7 days in advance, I am more flexible. So I will respond to any kind of price changes. But if I have to buy the plane ticket, the bus ticket, or the train ticket right now, I have to go right now. So I don't have options. I'm not flexible. So if the price is a little bit higher, okay, so what will happen? I will pay the price. We do that every day. Is there, how many of you use Uber?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, so quite a few of you must be using Uber to go to your office, right?
Yes, sir.
And you will notice that Uber uses a concept called dynamic pricing. And dynamic pricing is what they do, they calculate the time of the day. And then they calculate the Google traffic maps, and then they give you a fare. Now, if you're going at 8 o'clock, Uber assumes that you're going to the office. So you are willing to pay an extra. But if you're going at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, roads are empty, plus it's not a time where offices or schools are happening. Okay, so what happens? The prices go down. So what we are going to look in this course initially is, how do we respond to prices? What are the tools that we use in order to respond to prices? Then what we're going to do, we're going to look at some markets, some basic markets. We start off with an ideal market, which will never exist in the world, which is called perfect competition or pure competition, whatever. It doesn't exist in the world. For example, 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit body temperature. That is also, if we take our body temperature right now, nobody's body temperature will be 98.4. But 98.4 is a standard against which we match deviations. Is it 96? Is it 97, 98, etc. So we look at the ideal situation, then we look at different type of real world markets, then we see how these markets function. So if you are a business manager operating in this type of a particular market, what things do you need to keep keep in your mind in order to survive in those markets? Later on, we're going to look at other things. We'll break various assumptions. That once we break an assumption, we enter into a different world. So basically, managerial economics is applied micro, and applied microeconomics is basically how we make. So applied microeconomics is basically how we make a decision. This is what we are going to start next Tuesday. Here. Okay. What is a trade-off? Why does it arise in decision making? What are its consequences? How does a system encourage you to do something, which we will call incentives, discourage you to do something, which we will call disincentives? Why do we need incentives in a system? Why do we need disincentives in a system? These are all common questions. Then, when two people enter a transaction, number 3, then we need to know what is the how will they exchange. আচ্ছা, তোমরা কি রবিন হুডের নাম শুনছো না?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
What did
sir.
Robin Hood do?
Yes, sir.
He used to rob from the rich and help the poor, right?
Give it to the poor. Right.
Okay. Now, this is a very novel thing to do. But the rich man who loses his wealth, was he happy?
No, sir.
He wasn't happy. Are all rich people corrupt?
No, sir.
Really no.
No, sir.
So you see, when we look at an exchange, we have to look at an exchange where both sides are happy. Okay. What is the condition? That both sides will be mutually happy. Remember this word, mutually. In any transaction, I may be happy, you may not. You may be happy, I may not. Okay. Still we can have an exchange like Robin Hood. Okay, the poor are happy because they're getting things from the rich, but it's not working vice versa. The rich are not happy because this rich man may have worked very hard in order to create his wealth, and all of a sudden Robin Hood comes and steals his wealth and gives it to the poor. Okay, so what we want to find out is that the exchanges are mutually beneficial. You know what mutually means? Beneficial for you and me at the same time. So what are the conditions? What will happen if it's not mutually beneficial? Then this is a concept, information. In an exchange, in an ideal world, we want A and B who enter into an exchange to have the same set of information. But in an interview board, do both parties have the same set of information? In an interview board, BRAC University is interviewing you to get enrolled in the MBA program. Who knows more about themselves? The student, the applicant, or BRAC University?
Brack University.
The students.
Applicant.
Student knows.
He
Student
should
knows
know more
the
about himself.
So you see, in this transaction, the information is not symmetric. BRAC knows less about the student than the student themselves. So in an interview board, what happens? It is your interest to send signals to BRAC University that I'm a good candidate, I'm a qualified candidate, I deserve this particular enrollment. The same thing will happen in a job interview. It is the applicant's interest in order to send a signal to the employer. For example, BRAC University today is taking you for the MBA program. After your MBA program, BRAC University may, or BRAC itself might employ you. So it is in your interest to send a signal to BRAC University or the mother organization itself that I'm the suitable candidate. So these are real world examples where information set between two people are not symmetric. So in that case, how do we handle what do you call it? The information gap. Okay. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, this is what we are going to start off in the next week. That where is it? Okay, here it is. Why does this arise? Trade-offs. Why do we need incentives? Number 2. Number 3, how is an exchange done? And information set. Distribution we don't need, but we will just discuss it for sake of it. Now, managerial economics, as I said, is more to do with common sense in real world situations. It will use tools from economics, but its applications will spill over to other areas of your professional, social, and personal life. Now, a lot of people are going to say yes. How many of you are afraid of mathematics? A matheist. Is there anybody in the class who's afraid of mathematics?
Not really afraid of it, but I know that I need to improve on it.
Also, somebody said that they're afraid.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I don't want to hear your name. Okay. Is there anybody else who is afraid of mathematics? Only one person.
I'm
Yes,
not
sir.
afraid
Yes,
of
sir.
mathematics, but I don't like it.
You don't like it. Okay. Well, then Not liking means you're afraid of it as well. Anybody else? Renuma Tamanna, you're also, you don't like maths. Okay. Nobody likes maths because from school, the teachers always tell us that, you know, if you know mathematics, you're an Einstein. And if you don't know mathematics, your life is ruined. Okay. So since this is an online class, it's very difficult for me to, throw mathematical concepts through these boards and whiteboards, etc. But can you visualize a ratio x divided by y?
Yes, sir.
Y is on the bottom, x is on
Yes,
the
sir.
top. Okay, so if the value of y increases, what happens to the ratio? Ratio to choto hoye jabe na?
Right, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if the value of x increases, ratio to boro hoye jabe, tai to?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if we can visualize a ratio, a change in the ratio, then whether we express it with a equation, whether we express it with a graph, whether we even express it verbally, that doesn't matter. So when we are talking about mathematics আমাদেরকে শিখায় দেওয়া হয় এটা হচ্ছে অঙ্ক মানে অঙ্ক ছাড়া mathematics করা যায় না. This is a very wrong concept. Mathematics can even be done just like I told you right now. Just visualize the ratio x by y. That's it. Now increase the value of y, keeping the value of x unchanged. You'll automatically say that the ratio is becoming smaller. Then you think, okay, if this ratio is becoming smaller, what is happening to the system? If the ratio is becoming larger, what is happening to the system? If the ratio remains unchanged, what is happening to the system? Now, if you can visualize these three things, it really doesn't matter whether we are expressing it with graphs, we're expressing it in equations, or how we are expressing. So the main thing is we want to learn and we don't want to become too much technical. So the course will try to be as applied as possible. Technicality shall be avoided, but that doesn't mean that there will be no technicality at all. Okay, this semester the course will try to cover topics that are relevant, and from my historical experience I will omit topics that have become obsolete over the years and may overlap with other courses in an MBA program. So this is we come to the end of our introductory discussion. So this is we're looking forward to an enjoyable experience. Now the next thing is there anybody else? Do you have any questions to ask?
Sir, sir, do we need any textbook?
Textbooks, the Google Drive, I'll upload them in the Google Drive. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So what I'll do, the thing is, suppose if I think I already mentioned one book. Let's see. Is it this one? Hey, here it is. Hey, this is the text, the initial text. Okay, Stiglitz and Walsh. Okay, so now when I share this text, you will see that it's a 600-page text. Naturally, 600 pages we will never cover, right? Is there any course where the entire text was covered, 500, 600 pages?
No, sir.
That's humanly impossible. Humanly impossible. So what we are going to do, if I say that this is the text, I'll share the PDF in the Google Drive. You can download it. I can't share it in Facebook because there are copyright reasons. And then I'll say that I'll cover chapter 2 or chapter 3. So you guys do one thing. You don't have to buy the text. You just print chapter 2 and chapter 3. Okay. And since you have the PDF, আজকাল তো ইয়ে আছে না? You guys must have these things as well, right?
Yes, sir.
These pens, boards. এগুলো আছে না? অনেকের আছে না?
We have tablets.
Yes, sir.
Tabs. I don't have a
So
tab.
you can use these things to make notes within the PDF. ঠিক আছে? So the person who asked about the text will be supplied, but there's nothing to worry about. There will be one or particular two or three chapters in the text. Any other question from anybody else?
Sir, class recording টা স্যার কোথায় পাওয়া যাবে স্যার?
আচ্ছা, রেকর্ডিংটা হচ্ছে the recording takes a lot of time to upload, but once it is uploaded, I will share the link in the Google, Facebook group. Okay.
Okay, sir.
It takes number one, এটা record হতে সময় লাগে, then upload হতে আরেকটা time লাগে. But once it is done, I'll share that link. I'll upload it into my Google my YouTube channel. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Carry on.
Sir, I didn't enroll to that subject. I don't know. I mean, I can't find the link. Can you share me the link to enroll?
Where did you try to enroll?
Sir, she is talking about the box enrollment.
I want to
Sir,
enroll
I think
to that
Just a
course.
second. Are you talking about Bucks?
Yes.
sir, she's talking about bugs.
Acha, the trouble with Bucks is, have you noticed? Bucks starts in January 2030.
2030.
Sorry, sir. Pardon, please.
If you look at the Bucks, the platform, ঠিক আছে? ওখানে লেখা আছে the course starts in 2030. 2030
sir.
সালে. And they haven't changed that date. How can you enroll? So what you who asked that question about enrollment in Bucks?
Me.
Acha, you don't have to worry about that. The thing is, I'll be using the Google, my that Google Drive, okay, and also the YouTube channel. ঠিক আছে? So the basic thing since ওই 2030 সালের কারণে that's why I had to over the last few semesters I've gone through this system that I do it alternatively. Anybody else?
So to get into the classroom group, do I have to use the G Suite ID or can I use my email ID? I think you talked about it once, but I couldn't hear.
Okay, the thing is, the classroom that I constructed was based on my BRAC University email ID. To the best of my knowledge, you need your G Suite in order to enroll into it.
Got it, sir.
Okay.
So I think most of the people have G Suite ID. So if you can just
so you
give us
just
the
use your
links.
G Suite ID. এখন আমাদের যে ইমেল গুলো দেয়া হয়েছে, most of them are Gmail, but I'm sure everybody has updated by now.
Yes, sir. Most of them are updated by now.
I haven't gotten my G Suite ID yet.
In that case, you apply for it. You'll get it within 1 week.
Okay, sir. Thank
And
you.
if you don't get it, then we'll worry about it later. Then, okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else with any other question?
Yes, sir. I have.
Carry on.
Yes, sir.
বলো।
স্যার আপনার ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ডটা এরকম কেন?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, bro. Sir, I had another question about the plagiarism thing. Usually, like I forgot the percentage of plagiarism that is actually allowed, because in many cases what happens is if we use references or something, then the plagiarism percentage can rise a bit. So how much of it is allowed, and how much if we cross it, it's going to be in trouble?
Let me give you an example since you asked this question. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Not bad.
For example,
you are doing the bloody class.
You write something like this, okay? Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh. If the similarity indicator captures this as plagiarism, can I say something?
Not really, no, sir.
You really can't. You can't say that, right?
Yes,
because Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh. This has been written at least in 1 million places. Okay. Acha. If somebody writes a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus twice ab plus b square, if the Turnitin catches that, can I say something?
No, sir.
You can't say that. So once we the percentage, আমি তো percentage তো দেখি, but the thing is I also see what things the percentage has got. So if you have written a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus twice ab plus b square,
right, sir.
If the system catches it, I have to omit it.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay. And for example, if you write something very common that Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh, and if it catches that particular sentence, I have to omit it.
Right, sir.
Yes, sir. So এই একটা গেল, তবে if you copy paste left and right, that will definitely be caught.
Understood, sir.
Yes, sir. So and from my historical experience in the last 2-3 semesters, if you write from your own words, you cannot cross more than 5%.
Right.
And many of the students have come up with 0 and 1%. There are lots of you know, cases where there has been 0 and 1%. So if you write from your own words,
Right, sir.
it cannot be plagiarized.
Got it, sir.
Okay, got it clear this time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anybody else with any other question?
Yes, sir.
Carry on.
Sir, you have told about the oral assessment after the assignments you have given us. So, sir, will you notify the people who have to go through the oral assessment before?
Yes,
Or-
yes, definitely beforehand I will tell.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
For example, if there are 48 in the class, আমি হিসাব করে ধরো 16 জন করে নিব। ঠিক আছে?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
ওটা আমি আগে থেকেই দিয়ে দিব, ওটা কোনো সমস্যা না।
Okay, sir.
You can organize your day. Anybody else with any other question?
স্যার গুগল ক্লাসরুম নিয়ে কি স্যার কিছু বলেছিলেন নাকি স্যার?
আমি বলছি which part didn't you catch?
স্যার ওই আমি মনে হয় স্যার ওই সময় মানে একটু শুনতে পাইনি।
আচ্ছা, সেটা হচ্ছে গুগল ক্লাসরুমটা হচ্ছে ব্র্যাক ইউনিভার্সিটি অ্যাকাউন্টে ইউজ করেছি তো, so you need your G Suite in order to enroll into it.
ওকে স্যার।
আমাদের জি সুইট আইডিটা আপনাকে কিভাবে পাঠাবো?
স্যার চ্যাট
দরকার নাই তো।
চ্যাট অপশনে দিয়ে দিছি স্যার আমরা অনেকেই।
না, ওইটা আমি অন্যভাবে দেখবো। এটা ওই যে আজকে ক্লাসের পরে I'll send the Excel files, মানে আমি বলবো you just use your G Suite in order to attend, মানে get into the Google Classroom, তারপর আমি চেক করবো কে কে ঢুকেছে, ঠিক আছে?
রাইট স্যার।
ওইটা ঠিক করে নিব নে। আর যেহেতু নেক্সট স্যাটারডে ক্লাস হচ্ছে না, এর মধ্যে I can update it. Okay, any other questions from anybody else?
স্যার ট্রাইবের লিংক তো ফেসবুক গ্রুপে আপনি স্যার শেয়ার করে দিবেন।
হ্যাঁ, আমি শেয়ার করে দিব।
ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
এইটাতেও আছে, মোস্ট প্রবাবলি এটা কোর্স আউটলাইনেও আছে।
কোর্স আউট, আচ্ছা স্যার, আই উইল চেক ইট।
But anyhow, I'll share it in the Any other questions from anybody else? No. Okay, so can we stop it here then for today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Okay, so Saturday is Durga Puja, so if anybody is celebrating, so Sharodiya Shubhecha, and if anybody is not celebrating, doesn't matter. The festival and festivity is common for everybody. So সবাইকে শারদীয় শুভেচ্ছা। Hopefully next মঙ্গলবার দিন, ঠিক আছে?
জি স্যার।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
Okay, one salam.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.